Hello, everybody. This is Ronry as always. I need to do makeup. If you. Why is this so difficult? There we go. If you hear someone in the background, I'm watching my buddy live stream Fallout 4 on Twitch with my other phone. I'm not going to do anything super fancy with this makeup look. It's just going to be the same spring, summer time makeup look that I've been doing lately. Where did I... Oh, it's right there. It's under Peanut. I have a box of makeup. I am so confused right now. What is going on? Okay, y'all have seen this before. What? When did I get a second one? I am so confused. I am so confused. I'm just gonna chalk it up to the amnesia I have diagnosed and call it a day. Anyway, I have gotten rid, well, not gotten rid of, but I have put away the old mascara that was getting clumpy. Hi, Tiny Mouse. And I have a new package of the same mascara. Why does it feel so, like, dark in here? I don't know why it feels dark in here. Is it this? Maybe it was that. Maybe it was. Okay, I think that's better. So I have the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Cobalt Blue Mascara. L'Oreal Paris. I thought so, but I didn't want to say it without confirming. I'm so curious now how long this has been around. I'm sorry, Cookies. I didn't mean to scare you. I love you. I scared my cat. When did L'Oreal come out with the Voluminous Original in Cobalt Blue? 2017. Cool. Why would I go to Ulta Beauty for it when I could just get it at Walmart? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So the first thing I'm going to do is line my waterline with NYX Professional Makeup Epic Inky Sticks in Cobalt Click. I have 20 minutes before that alarm goes off again. Come on, behave. There we go. I upset my buddy and then he upset me today. I'm not gonna name names because he and I are good buddies and I don't want people to think badly of him because he didn't mean it that way at all. And I know him well enough to know he's a good guy. But he is not the most educated on race relations and Islamophobia, which why would he be? He is your average white Gen X guy who is not Muslim at all, you know? And we get along perfectly fine. But today, What is that? I feel like I just got out of the shower. Okay, it was a eye booger. Um, Today I woke up and I checked my notifications on YouTube, and there was only one, well, the word I used before is ignorant, and I'll use it again because I can't really think of a better word to describe the comments I've been receiving all week long, and I've been jokingly chalking it up to the French. And when I complained to my friend in one friend's stream, in his stream, it is mandatory that if you talk about the French, you have to censor it, as a joke. And so, to continue that joke in our mutual friend's stream, I censored the word French when I was complaining about people being ignorant to me all week. But I wasn't specifically complaining per se. I was rather expressing relief that I woke up to fewer Islamophobic comments than usual. And I was trying to do it without killing the mood by talking about Islamophobia, so I said, "It seems like the French are asleep." And he asked me to explain. He laughed a little nervously, said that's kind of racist, and then he said, no, I'm just kidding, it's fine, really. And then he asked me to explain, and I did. I said, it's just that I blame the French for all the ignorant comments I've been receiving lately, or something along those lines. And he freaked out, saying, "You know that your messages are showing up on screen on my stream, right? Like, this is going in the video. You can't be saying that kind of stuff." But it's okay. I'm not yelling at you or anything. It's okay, really. Just don't do it again. I did not have the patience to explain to him how offensive he was being. So, I just said, "It's a joke," and then left before he could reply. And then I felt kind of sleepy, so I took a nap. Could not sleep. Got about 2 hours of rest anyway, just closing my eyes and trying to sleep. I almost fell asleep several times, but notifications kept waking me up. And then when I woke up, I hopped on my friend's stream who you censored the word French and British. And it's a running joke. The buddy that called me racist for joking about the French popped up in the stream and then saw I was there and left without saying anything. So I don't know if he's trying to be polite and give me space, or if I pissed him off by saying it's just a joke and not elaborating. If he chooses not to drop it, that's fine. I will explain to him very gently that France is a government where I personally am unable to take public office and attend parent-teacher meetings for my son if he goes to a public school. I cannot attend a public school myself. All of this just because I wear hijab. And I refuse to be forced to take it off. To the point where, when considering where to escape World War III, if push comes to shove and they start rounding up queer and Muslim and other marginalized people and putting us into concentration camps, or whatever they invent this time around. if shit hits the fan, my only place I could go to realistically is Canada. Maybe Mexico. Maybe like what is it? I think my friend said Puerto Rico. No, Costa Rica. Costa Rica. There's a couple middle of nowhere places. I think Switzerland is an option now because they finally took a side for the first time since the 1800s or something like that. They finally took a stance because it's gotten that bad. But basically, France is off the table on all the countries I could potentially move to because of how Islamophobic they are. And before you jump into the comments and start defending France, if you are not Muslim yourself, and if you are not a parent, and if you are not a hijabi, all three of those things, you will not experience the same thing that I do in that country. So it's, my prejudice against France is not unfounded. And it's also not racist to be prejudiced against France. Especially since, genetically speaking, I am French. I'm French, I am German, I am Irish, I am Russian, I am Kazakhstani. What else? British, I'm all those things. And when I criticize these groups, it's not from a place of xenophobia, it is a reaction to xenophobia. And also, I really find it distasteful for someone who doesn't know the word xenophobia to accuse me of it. Racism is a serious matter. It is not something you lightly accuse somebody of. That's a serious matter. Especially, as a streamer, you should know that accusing a fellow content creator of racism when they aren't even talking about race, that can be taken out of context and made to make them look bad if they have any enemies, which I do and I have expressed in the past. And it just seems like he doesn't pay attention in the Discord that we are all in, and he rather uses it as advertisement for his own stream and his own Discord without wanting to contribute in other ways. He does have one thing that he talks about, but it's not like he comes to my streams regularly, and I come to his streams as regularly as I can when I'm not busy going to somebody else's stream. And I think after what he said today, calling me racist, I'm going to have to take a break from attending his streams just to cool my head off so that the resentment can die down and I can be respectful, I don't want to be disrespectful to him. Excuse me, I am dehydrated today. Really badly dehydrated today. Okay, let's open this brand new tube of mascara. Yep. That sure is mascara. And yay, no cat hair in it. Oh, that's such a relief. But when people call something racist that is not racist, it's a red flag for me, especially if it's coming from a white person. I used to turn the other cheek, so to speak, about it until I went through my divorce from my ex-wife, who would randomly accuse me of racism anytime I talk about race relations and critical race theory. Like, I would say something like, um, indigenous Mexican people had trade routes all the way from what is now South America to what is now Canada. And she would say, "Oh, that's racist." No, it's not. Just because it's about race does not mean it's racism. Do you know what racism is? So when people don't know what racism is and then accuse me of it, it rubs me the wrong way. It really does. And I find it, um, I find it tone deaf not only to accuse a hijabi of being racist when talking about experiencing Islamophobia, but also I find it tone deaf to defend France on the grounds of racism because they are the second largest colonial superpower in the world. They do not need defending, they are not the victims of racism. Like, obviously, there are black people in France who are the victims of racism. But generally speaking, that's on the basis of if you are an immigrant or not. But regardless of your skin color, and regardless of your racial identity, if you wear hijab, you cannot attend public school in it. You have to take it off to attend public school, basically. And you cannot hold public office wearing it. You have to take it off to hold public office. So, imagine if they told you you couldn't wear a shirt, or you couldn't wear pants or a skirt or anything covering your legs. Imagine if they told you you couldn't cover up to the degree that you feel comfortable. Not saying that you, like, they don't say that you're not allowed to practice Islam. It's just that if they think that it's visible in public that you practice Islam, you are infringing on their right to be free from religion. And so in public schools, there have been cases where hijabis who don't cover their hair get sent home to change or made to change into something they have on hand at the school because their dress was too long. I'm not kidding you. Furthermore, my first stepdad was Italian. Why is this so difficult? My first stepdad was Italian. His parents came over to America from Italy. He spent time living in Europe. And let's just say France, Italy, and Austria all have a complicated relationship with each other. So if I can get along with a German person just fine, and I can get along with an Italian person just fine, then I can get along with a French person just fine. Believe me. But when I seek, let's say, a scapegoat, I don't want to be prejudiced. I want to be... Well, let me put it this way. I don't want to oppress anybody. I want to just be prejudiced. So instead of being a misandrist, or instead of being ageist, particularly towards people younger than me, who have fewer rights than me, and I should have maturity when dealing with, instead of blaming children, or men, or cis people, or straight people, or any of that, I blame the French as a thought-terminating cliche. Sue me. Like, first of all, if you're offended that I might randomly pick the French to blame for stuff, I don't think you know how much influence France has had upon the world. Like, you talk about the Roman Empire affecting everything. Wait until I tell you how many countries France has colonized. It's over 40. Oh my goodness. Like, why are we defending a colonizer? And so, like, that tells me a lot about the mentality of the person I'm dealing with. What? Oh. I forgot I had that. But, just to reiterate, this is not a moral failing, and it is not, what is it called? A deal breaker or anything like that. I just need a little bit of space after being accused of racism, because not despite his intent being something that didn't match the impact, but because of it. I'm aware of what his intent was, but he doesn't seem to be aware of what my intent was. And he's acting like I'm the one who had some sort of negative impact when I'm complaining about people having a negative impact on me. And it's like, what part of... What part of a white person criticizing a white colonial superpower is racist? That is not the right word. If you're talking about an American criticizing a French person, then the word is xenophobic. Alright, that alarm is going off. I need to attend to it. Okay, I took care of the alarm for now. And I noticed I need to do my eyebrows still. Okay, there we go. Up next is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Dewy Liquid Blush in the shade Spirited, which is purple. So I'm going to take some on the back of my hand. I wish they made this size of the Dewy Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Lucky, because I love the shade Lucky. However, it is too big like, I'm pretty pale. I don't need a lot of pigment. As you can tell. That was 3 dots and that's it. But I feel like it's a waste to buy a full size when a mini will do. However, they don't give me that option. Where is this cat hair coming from? Oh my goodness. Why is there cat hair in my brush? I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna pay attention to my buddy's stream. And then I will finish recording. Okay. I know it doesn't look like much on camera, but blush looks more intense in person than it does on camera. Trust me. Highlighter, lips. Highlighter, setting powder, no. What? No. Setting spray. Yeah, setting spray. Then highlighter, then lips. Okay. Please don't get that dirty. Hair is fine. Nothing wet, okay? Are you making a nest? Are you about to knock the picture frame off the wall? Oh, that was adorable. I'm glad I got it on camera. This is the Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome All Over Glitter Mist Milkier Way. As far as I'm aware, this so far is the only shade of this All Over Glitter Mist that they've made. However, the shade name is Milkier Way. Who knows? Maybe they plan to release a second shade or a whole line. What am I looking for? Highlighter. Here's the highlighter. And I'm using the setting spray first so that the powder has something to grip to. Now I gotta wait for that to dry. Why was that British? Now I gotta wait for that to dry. That's better. I need to retie this. So I figured I will show you how I untie it. being extra difficult today. Everything gets harder when you film it for the first time. Okay, there we go. Now, well, first thing you do is that. And then you literally just cover your hair. If you have medium long hair, you may want to wear an undercap. If you have long hair, you may want to put your hair into a bun and then wear an undercap. But I am just at home, and if I put on that many layers while baking brownies, I'm going to overheat. And I also have to go take out the trash, so I will overheat in that endeavor if I wear too many layers. Okay. That keeps making me panic for a split second, and then I remember it's not open. What was that? Why? I'm so confused. That's better. Oh, my hair. There we go. What next? Highlighter. Let me inspect the brush for cat hair. There's like a little bristle that's crooked. Really wish I knew where my tweezers went. Well, it doesn't seem to budge. Let me try one last time. I don't know if I got it or not. Let's just move on. This is Aurora Glaze by Chameleon. Hold on. Wet and Wild Chameleon Chrome. It's a highlighter. This is the shade Too Serious. And in here I have Aurora Glaze. It originally was in this packaging, but it broke. So I have it in a new package. I keep reaching for the wrong mirror. I'm still not sure how I ended up with two mirrors. I'm so glad I have twice as much of this Aurora Glaze as I do the Too Serious. Or is it Too Serious or is it a different one? Venus Swing is the blue one. Too Serious is the yellow, almost green one. really need to brush my dog's teeth. I've been doing really good at brushing my own teeth lately. Unfortunately, they got this bad before I became good at brushing them regularly. But you live some, you learn some. See, there's another thought terminating cliche, but it's a normal one. You live some, you learn some. That's a thought terminating cliche. Another thought terminating cliche is boys will be boys. I'm just weird with mine because I think it's funny to be Francophobic, especially because it's not actually hurting the French. America does not oppress France. And I'm pretty sure that French Americans are not that badly marginalized compared to, say, a North African person whose country was colonized by France who then moves to America. You see what I'm saying? You know, I feel like me bullying the French does not actually cause oppression, you know? Oppression is a one-way street. I also find it, like, confusing that someone who's been in the friend group longer than I have does not remember that this is a joke that has been told before I got there. But we are talking about someone who, I guess he has like ADHD, or maybe as a result of his chronic pain or something like that. You know, because chronic pain can cause a lot of cognitive fatigue. But he'll post something to the wrong channel occasionally, just like I do. And I find it very relatable. So, where was I going with this? But anyway, it's an inside joke, and the fact that he doesn't recognize the inside joke from our mutual friends through which we met is just... I'm hoping it's just a memory issue and not a lack of participation issue and not a lack of paying attention to others' participation issue. You know, or maybe he's just been busy and forgot because it's been so long since he had time to read through other people's messages, you know? Like, I'm sure there's a million different reasons why he doesn't recognize the joke when I censor the word French. And who knows, maybe when he got into the stream today and saw in chat that we were all censoring the word French, maybe he realized and felt embarrassed, and I'm, you know, like, overthinking it, even though, like, he has realized his mistake already, you know? Who knows? However, one thing I do know is that it's not my job to educate people on how to respect me. And I do know that casting pearls before swine tends to make me feel worse than staying silent. And that might not be true for you, but it's true for me. And when I say casting pearls before swine, I mean If somebody is not arguing in good faith and is not open to being educated, particularly by you, me in this occasion, then you don't want to waste your energy and time and strength and all that. You don't want to waste resources telling them the education they are not seeking, especially if they've made it clear that they are not open to education. Like, it's one thing to be ignorant and ask questions. It's another thing to be ignorant and make accusations. And I don't like it when people call it racism when it's not racism. I hate that noise. I'm gonna uninstall Facebook and Messenger and stop using them entirely, because every time I get a notification from Facebook, no matter who's it's from, no matter how much I like that person, it just triggers me and makes me irritable and feel like I'm being watched and just all sorts of symptoms, and it's just not good for me. But it's not that I don't want to be this person's friend anymore. It's just that I need time to adjust to this new reality. That I did not realize that it would be tone policed if I complained about people being ignorant towards me. And that's not a moral failing on his part or anything like that. It just means that I need to seek that resource from somebody else. There it is. Where's the lid? Here it is. I do want to stay friends with him, but at least for the time being, I'm just gotta take a break from attending his streams. And, I don't know. It's just less of a priority now. Where did I just... I found it. If it were a snake, it would have bit me. I need another layer of setting spray to make the powder stay in place. It looks way paler on camera than it does in person. In person, it's purpley pink. Where did that cat hair come from? Yeah, it's way more purpley pink in person. On camera, it's just kind of shiny. You can already see the makeup settling into the creases of my upper eyelid. Alright, I'm gonna wait for this to dry. Okay, I'm going to tie the rope braid on my headscarf so that it can stay out of the way. Is my hair tied up in the knot? My hair in the back is getting really long. Oh no. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I got my hair free. So you want to twist both tails in the same direction. So in this case, I am twisting them both towards my face. And now, if they're nice and tight, well, is it this way? Yeah. You want to twist them together in the opposite direction. And then you want to twist it again and wrap around, grab it, and you want to pinch this finger against this finger to make a hook. And then there we go. And to put a ball cap over a headscarf, you want to loosen the ball cap. Okay, I need paper towels, which are over there. I think the part of the reason why I wear such provocative phrases on my clothing is because people are going to stare at me no matter what I wear, as long as I'm wearing a headscarf, especially if I dress more Islamically. So if they are going to intimidate me into wearing Western clothes, I am going to be as Western as offensively as possible towards Western. Anti-Western. Yeah, what? What am I trying to explain? Anyway, if they're gonna stare at me, I might as well give them a reason to stare. And also because, when I wear stuff like this in public, I do get compliments. It's just not as overtly as on, say, my makeup or my, like, pink headscarf or the way I wear my headscarf. But people look at me and make assumptions based off of me being visibly Muslim, and it's like they're going to assume things about me anyway, so I might as well, like, if it does apply, I might as well represent it. So I wore this hat to the what do you call it, the airport, and one of the baristas at the Starbucks, she said she liked my hat. And when I was wearing my I Heart Italian Boys shirt with Luigi on it, one of the flight attendants said she liked my Luigi shirt. Um, so I do get compliments, it's just whispered, you know? And I feel like it gives people hope. You know, the kind of people who are whispering to me see my hat, they see my shirt, and they think this person will take a bullet for me. Because I will. If my son's not in the room, I will take a bullet for anybody in that room. Especially a woman, especially a disabled person, especially a black person. And I represent that in what I wear. And at least I try to. This is Sushi Glow Cosmetics? Yes. This is Sushi Glow Cosmetics Bloody Tint Lip Stain in the shade Aurora. Right? Yeah. I just want... I don't know why I don't have more confidence in myself. I'm always doubting myself when I'm right. I guess in this instance it's because the highlighter I'm wearing is also Aurora, and I was like, am I sure that the lip stain is also called Aurora, or am I just putting the name of the highlighter as the name of the lip stain, you know? Okay. The only thing holding me back from deleting Facebook and Messenger immediately off my phone to get rid of the notifications and all that in one swift motion is I need to let the people who I reconnected with rather, let them know where to reach me, and then I need to delete it. I'm still watching my buddy's stream. It's just on mute. Oh, that looks much better. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Alright, I'm gonna wait for that to dry down. Okay, I'm back. I know you can't tell, but it's been like an hour. I hung out with my friend who was live streaming his Fallout game, and then I switched over laundry and put in more laundry to wash because I need to rewash, clean laundry, and I need to wash dirty laundry. And then I need to wash even dirtier laundry that needs to be donated. So I have a lot of laundry to do, and I have brownies to make. I need to do lip liner. This is the Royal Lip Liner Plumping Lip Liner by NYX Professional Makeup in the shade Talk of the Ton. That's okay. That's better. Okay. Look at that handsome boy. Oh, you want that open? You like that? That make you happy? He is the goodest boy. And so handsome too. Alright. Talk of the ton. Let me try that again. Oh, perfect. Okay. That's about as good as it's gonna get. This lip liner is spicy. However, it doesn't really kick in until you either wait a while or put gloss over it or lip oil over it. I'm going with gloss today from Sunset Makeup in the shade 31. And I realized about halfway through filling in my lower lip that I had forgotten to put on a second layer of lip stain, Sushi Glow Cosmetics lip stain, after the first layer had dried. But oh well, it's not like I need this to last 12 hours. Well, Who knows? We'll see. Yeah. Alright, now that I've put 3 different colors of purple on my lips, descending from darkest to most neon, I think that is the finished look. Yeah, my highlighter looks fine. I forgot my ears! We can't forget my ears. I'm gonna put my lips set back together. This is the case for the NYX Bridgerton lip set in the Talk of the Ton and Amethyst Amour combo, but I took the lip oil out because it does not work for the purposes that I seek of it. It goes on green over the purple, and I'm not looking for green reflect in my purple. Not always. Sometimes yes, but not like when I want to look like this, you know? So I have it. Where'd it go? Here it is. This is what comes on the inside of this case. But I took it out to make room for the lip gloss from Sunset Makeup. Wow, that spice is really kicking in. I would say if you cannot handle the spice level of this lip gloss, do not get a tattoo. Is about a, yeah, it hurts about as bad as getting this did. So it is not for people who do not want spice on their lips. Fair warning. None of the NYX Duck Plump products are for people who don't like spicy. It is extremely spicy. Where's my hat? Here's my hat. 100% cotton. Okay. I need to get ready to bake brownies. So I will set up and then go live. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to do first. I need to take down the trash. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. Okay, so I will take down the trash and then I will get to making brownies and go live. I may sleep in tomorrow. However, Tuesday, I plan to do a barrel fire. Did I say that right? Barrel fire. Yes, I did. I'm gonna do a barrel fire yesterday. No. I'm gonna do a barrel fire tomorrow. No. Tuesday. I'm gonna do a barrel fire Tuesday. Alright, I will see y'all in the next one. Love you. Bye.